building. We in the building. We in the building. Bitch, we in the building.
Yo, welcome to PTA Sports. I am your host, Pest the Analyst. So Joe Judge does his first press conference at training camp, and man, it's a lot of interesting stuff, man. Joe Judge said a lot of interesting things that really caught my attention, and I just wanted to touch on them really quickly in this video. So let's start with this. One of the first things that he talked about was how he wanted to ramp up, the equipment that the players were going to be wearing as this training camp begins and progresses. So basically what he said was, they're going to start with shirts and shorts, helmets, right? They're going to then progress to shells. If you don't know what shells mean, that just means they're shoulder pads. And then they're going to go on ahead and move into having full gear. And something that he said that was interesting to me was, he's going to have the players wear that full gear once they get to that point. They're going to wear that every day. It doesn't matter if they're, full contact or not. They're going to wear it every single day once they ramp up to that level. And, I think that's a good idea, right? I think that's a very good idea in regards to getting the players just used to having that gear on, right? Especially when you're having players acclimatize to, having that stuff on. The weather is hot. You know what I'm saying? Or it's raining or whatever the case may be. Just get the players used to having that gear on, over the course of a day, right? So I think that's a very smart move, right? It's something I absolutely agree with. He is not reinventing the wheel here. There's a lot of different coaches that are going to do the exact same thing, right? But you want to get these players used to like wearing this gear, okay? So I think that's great. I'm glad that that's a decision that he made. That's something that he wants to do. And, I'm good with it. The next thing that he talked about was kind of the whole vaccination thing, right? I know that this is a hot button issue. I know that people are on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence, whether or not people should be vaccinated or not. That's neither here nor there, okay? Based on what Joe Judge said, right? It's a personal decision for the players, okay? They can make that decision themselves. All right, he's allowing them to, do whatever it is that they want to do in regards to being vaccinated or not being vaccinated. Cool, whatever. All right. Based on the words that he said, if players are not vaccinated, then they just got to follow all the protocols. Okay. Apparently, they've got to wear, the little shell, the little mouth guard shell over their helmet when they're on the field. When they're on the sidelines, they've got to wear a mask. Okay, they've got to appropriately social distance. Cool, fine, whatever. Okay, get the vaccine or don't. I kind of have the same stance, if I was in this position. Like, I'm not going to make you guys do one thing or the other. It's your own decision. Just make sure you're following the protocols. So, from the way it sounds, there's a fair amount of players and staff that are vaccinated. All right, there are some that aren't vaccinated. I'm pretty sure that Joe Judge has stressed the importance of following all the protocols, especially being that the league is kind of, they're kind of dropping the hammer on these teams. If you have to cancel a game or something, it's going to be an issue. So I'm pretty sure that Joe Judge is going to do everything in his power to make sure that like these players are doing everything they need to do to stay safe. So cool, fine, whatever. Okay, whatever. Another thing that he talked about was the conditioning test. He didn't go into great detail with what the conditioning test was, but listen, for those who don't know, the conditioning test is like the first thing you do when you show up to camp. Okay, it doesn't matter what level you're at, you're gonna have to do a conditioning test, and the conditioning test typically consists of like wind sprints, bro. Like, you're going to be doing a lot of wind sprints, and you've got a certain amount of time to complete the wind sprints, okay? So it's going to be like probably wind sprints. They may throw some suicides in there. They may have you, lift some weights. It depends. It's from team to team, okay? It's always going to be different. No conditioning test is the same. From what I was hearing, the conditioning test was mostly sprints, okay? Let me let you know something, all right? When I played, I hated doing conditioning tests. Like, I hated having to do them. But listen, you want to make the team, okay? That's the first thing you're going to do is show that you're in shape, all right? It's the first thing that you need to do. So, everybody passed your conditioning test, and it doesn't seem to be an issue. It looks like all the players were buying into, the things that the coaches were telling them, during the offseason. All right, and they went, they got the job done. So good on them. All right, everybody passed the conditioning test. All the players were pretty much in shape. Cool story, bro. This was like the thing that grabbed my attention the most based on what Joe Judge said. He said that every coach is essentially the head coach of their position group. I love it. I love the fact that Joe Judge wants all his coaches to actually coach. Okay? Like you're not staying on the sideline, holding a clipboard, collecting data, okay? You're not just standing there yelling for the sake of yelling. You're actually teaching these players stuff. I love this mentality. Mwah! It's fantastic, okay? You need to be out there teaching your players how to be better at their position, and I love that. Okay, so if it's one thing that we can say is going to happen is that these players are going to be out there getting coached. Okay, these coaches going to be earning their money, and if you're not earning your money, then you're probably out of here. Ask Mark Colombo. All right. He also talked about like cross coaching, and when we're talking about cross coaching, all right, we're talking about like let's say that I'm the defensive line coach, right? I'm watching my defensive lineman going up against the offensive line, and I see that there's a player on the offensive line that has kind of like a tell. Like, I know that you're going to pull because you line up like this, or I know that this is going to be a run play because you line up this way, or you're facing this way, or your hips are here, or your hands are there. Like, I know that you're getting ready to run block. So like, as the coach, I go up to that player and I say, hey, listen, man, when you line up like this, I know exactly what you're getting ready to do. So stop lining up like this. You got to figure out a way to line up like that so that we don't know that you're doing this, that, and the third. Okay? Cross coaching is really important. So if he's emphasizing to his coaches that, like, if you see something on the opposite position group, then tell them, teach them, coach them. I love it. Okay? I absolutely love it. Now, here was another thing that he talked about, just kind of briefly. He just like kind of touched on it, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I've talked about it in the past, and that's having his offensive linemen play in multiple positions. All right, take the left guy, put him on the right. Take that center, make him play guard. Take that guard, make him play center. Take that guard, make him play tackle. Just like taking these players and putting them in these other positions just to see, hey, what do you look like if we had to put you there? What do we look like if we had this kind of an alignment on offense? Like, what does this look like? How well are you able to handle this other position in case we need you there? Or maybe, and this is just a maybe, okay, I'm not saying that I know anything about what they're doing. I don't. But maybe they're planning to do some different things overall with the starters. All right? So, I've heard that, they want to try Nick Gates over at guard. Cool. I know that Will Hernandez is going to be, getting work at left and right guard. Cool. We saw that Will Hernandez was actually practicing his fit-ins. He was practicing his fit-ins on both sides. We saw videos of that on his Instagram. So, cool, man. I'm all about that. I'm all about trying players at different positions right now when it doesn't matter. It's practice and we're just figuring things out. This stuff is good in my opinion, and I love it, okay? So don't be surprised and don't freak out if we see some kind of weird alignments during these practices, okay? This is the time to do it. This is the time to figure this stuff out. I don't want y'all to freak out because, Nick Gates playing guard a few days in a row, all right? It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it could mean a lot. We just gotta wait and see because we don't know. Nobody knows, okay? We'll just chill out. We'll chill out and we'll see what these guys do. But I love it, all right? I've spoken on it in the past, and listen, this is the time to do it. So let's make it happen. The last thing that I wanted to touch on, because this is also something that I spoke about in the past, and we'll put like the little thing in the eye wherever the hell it's at, the little eye, and we'll talk about like inter squad practices and stuff. But we talk about joint practices, and Joe Judge, he said that he's excited about it. Right, gives you an opportunity to go and bang heads with a different team as opposed to banging heads with each other all day long. You get to go out there, you get to, kind of see what your team's looking like against like some other competition, and you get the opportunity to just get different looks that you're not going to quite get when you're practicing against your teammates. So listen, I'm excited about these joint practices. Man, whenever I hear about joint practices, I wish that there was a way to just be able to watch it. Right? Hey, NFL teams, okay, you guys can steal this idea if you want, but maybe put a paywall on your site that allows you to see stuff, live streaming it. Maybe make a Twitch channel or something so that we can come in and pay a couple of bucks and watch these inter squad practices or something. I don't know. I would just like to see them. I would just like to see what they look like and like not just be able to just like see little small snippets. I want to watch the whole damn thing. So like I don't know. Maybe y'all can make that happen. But that was essentially Joe Judge's press conference, or the things that I found interesting from his press conference, kind of wrapped up in a neat little package for you. Listen, Joe Judge ain't gonna give us a lot of information though, okay? So, these tiny tidbits, man, you gotta take them, and you gotta hold on to them, because this is all you gonna get. He's not gonna give us a lot of information. We gotta enjoy these little small pieces while we can. But that was his press conference. Some interesting stuff, in my opinion. I always like to just listen to Joe Judge talk, because, man, this guy's a head coach, man. Protect Joe Judge. I just love hearing what this guy has to say. So what did you think of that press conference? If you didn't see it, okay, you need to go over to like the New York Giants YouTube page and check it out, right? And then come back and let me know what you thought in the comment section. Like, how'd you feel? What'd you think about the things he said? Was there something that you found more interesting than what I talked about in this video? I don't know. Let me know. Let's discuss it. Do me a favor, okay? Like, subscribe, share, do all the things. Tell everybody about PTA Sports. And I will get up with you guys later. Deuces.